You found Channel 13. Keep watching. Keep watching. Keep watching. Keep watching. Keep watching. This transmission carries with it nothing of value.
Did you get bottles?
Mm-hmm.
At least you bought more than one.
Best beer ever.
What are you drinking?
Paul Anus.
I don't know if I've ever had that.
Get him in the
This
Paul
guy?
Aner.
Yeah. I don't
Most
think
people
I've ever
hate
had it.
a wheat beer. I like wheat beer, so
I don't mind a
it
wheat
might be
beer.
one.
Yeah.
I think it's like a too filling or something. What are you drinking, Ben?
Narragansett.
What is that? Is that fancy or cheap?
Have a cheap. It says
Yeah.
have a Ganset. It's one of these that says like
It's like a Stroh's.
oldest brewery in something. It's made on honor, sold on merit. Made on honor?
On it.
Made with honor.
On
Made
honor.
on honor? Like you just
Yeah,
make
no,
it?
you're right.
You make it, you go, I'll make it, you don't even need to pay me yet. Now
Yeah,
I'll
that's-
sell it on merit. And
That's
merit
honor.
alone. Since 1890. It says the famous, actually, right there. So,
Well known.
hi, neighbor. Have a Ganset. Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills.
That
tonight.
we watched 6 months ago.
Tonight.
Evil dies tonight, though.
It does. It died a couple nights ago, I heard.
No, he dies tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, but because they... Is that from the movie? Because I
Yes.
only remember saying them once or
I
twice.
think I vaguely remember that. I think it was just a tagline on the poster.
Oh yeah, I don't think they actually said it. It was one of those things like you're
Yeah.
like, man, I hope
Like-
they say that
like,
line
that's not
in the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they're like, they never say it once. This is the continuation of Halloween 2018. So now this timeline is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween Kills, and then ends with Halloween Ends. Or you can go Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Or you can go Halloween, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection.
Right.
Halloween 3 stands alone, and then the 2 Rob Zombie movies stand alone.
Yeah, I think you got that right.
Here's a
Good
map.
for you. I think you're.
Yeah.
There
I'm
is
just
a
gonna
map.
Put a picture
right,
of a
yeah,
dick.
yeah. Read that. There is a map, and I think you got it right.
Yeah, I think you did, actually, which is
Yeah, that's impressive.
honestly commendable.
Yeah.
Because it's
What?
so ridiculous.
Because this one skips 2. This is Halloween 1, Halloween, and it skips that whole familial relationship where they're not brother and sister, which makes no sense. Because
Right.
when you're adopted by a family, you're not just adopted down the street,
Yeah, Halloween.
which is what
2
Halloween 2 purported.
Yeah,
Did
Halloween
John
2.
Carpenter make part 2?
He wrote it.
Yeah.
He didn't make it, though?
And he drank a lot. He said he drank every night, and he wrote the script drunk, and that's where he came up with terrible ideas.
Right. Like they're brother and sister because
I just watched Star Wars.
Right. Right.
That makes it so much more fucked up in 1, where Laurie Strode's dad, who is the realtor, says, hey, go drop the keys off at the old Meyers place, which means he says, go to the house on the anniversary of your brother that you don't know exists, the anniversary of when he murdered his sister, and you were taken away from the family for some reason because he didn't murder his parents. So the family was just like, I'm done with kids. Take this baby away from me. Why was she even adopted? That doesn't even make any sense. Take this baby away from me. Or did they die in a car wreck? That happened a lot in these movies where like someone just died in a car wreck, so someone got adopted.
Just to write it.
That's what
Do
happened.
they, what is the thing? What do they talk about? Because he only kills his sister,
Right.
and then he gets like taken away or whatever.
Taken away, he comes back.
So where is mom and dad? I know in
I
Rob
think they died in
Zombie's,
a
like,
car
they
wreck.
die in Rob Zombie
Right.
movies.
She kills herself in Rob Zombie's movie. The
Yeah,
mom
in the-
kills
that's right,
herself.
yeah.
And
In
she,
the-
there's no
in-
dad. He's
Yeah,
like
and the
that.
original. The
Oh, he's just
original.
like a drunk guy, yeah.
Yeah, the originals they don't even talk about the parents at all.
They're just white trash. So like they just come home and they say Michael, and that's it. And
that's it.
It's gone.
And I'm pretty sure they probably moved.
I think in
the fuck out
2
of
it
town,
says
right?
they died in a car wreck, and then she was just adopted down the street. I
But
guess
2,
that's not
yeah,
how it works.
2 is weird because 2 happens like right after 1.
It happens the
2
same night,
it's
like
the
this
same
one
night.
does. It's like it's the
Right.
same thing. It's a
Right.
continuation of the same evening.
Which I think this one handles that better than Halloween 2 did.
Yes, even though they both end up in a hospital.
They do.
And Laurie
do.
Strode is in the hospital the entire time, and she's taken there for her wounds. So it's kind of like a remake of that one almost.
little
except they
homage.
get rid of that. At the end of 2018, he's locked in the basement, and then they set the house on fire. And then it starts with a
drive away.
Slipknot video in 2, where he's just standing in front of a burning home with an axe
Yeah.
because he got it from beating up a fireman.
And he
it's
takes
just
it.
like-
Yeah, that's
He
right.
takes off like
He
8
just-
different firemen right
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Well,
That's right.
first, let's talk about this, because he is hit with a fire hose in the chest. And I want to talk about this, because this is a significant difference.
He turns into a ninja.
Well, he's he's a ninja, but he's also,
No.
I mean, has everyone seen the civil rights videos? You can see what a fire hydrant does
yeah.
and where they are. I think I explained this when we first tried to record this. Fire hydrants' colors depend on the PSI that come out of them, like the gallons per minute, I should say, not the PSI. The PSI is decided by the hose and the nozzle you put on it, but the strength of the water flow, the amount of water that comes out there. And since she's in the middle of nowhere, you would have a high gallon per minute hose because it would serve as like a massive area. You've seen the civil rights movement videos where they're spraying human beings with fire hoses in the 60s, correct?
Yes.
You see what a fire hose does to a human being?
Yes.
And he just keeps walking. He's now Superman. That the amount...
Hasn't he always been Superman?
No. I mean, this is like, he's not a human. Like, this is
No,
like...
he's yeah.
No, this is he's Jason Voorhees now.
No, you don't
this-
walk into a
this
fire
is-
hose, no doubt. But I'm just saying he's
this
always
is-
been a tough guy. Like above
No,
the
I mean,
line.
not in 1 and last one. Like, always
In
outside,
one,
he's
in
done some...
One,
he's
he
done
gets
some strong
shot and he
things.
jumps out of a window and he survives. I
Right,
mean, that's how it
but
ends.
people have been shot. Tupac Shakur survived 6 shootings. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay, fine. Like, the whole
Has he?
point of him is his adrenal
Is that our
glands
first
open.
Tupac reference?
Yeah, no. I'll go with 50 Cent. 50 Cent got shot like 6 times or something, and he
Yeah.
Tupac
survived.
Shakur got shot like 3 times, I think.
You just
want-
cutting it in half now?
I want to say
I don't
he
know. He got shot a couple of times.
I want to say he got shot twice, and the second one did him in.
Was it twice?
Yeah.
Not just that, the beating he takes at the end.
The beating that he takes, that's the cutoff of like this is insanity.
But like that would break
Yeah.
your chest that close. A fire hose would. That's 1,200 psi right here. So pounds per square inch, 1,200 in a 9-inch spray would push you over and probably.
You're
break
forgetting he has a
bones.
janitor outfit on.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. So I'm just saying that this turned into fan fiction at this point. Like Danny McBride and his buddies, like
Oh, yeah,
they're
I keep forgetting.
they're Halloween fans, and this seemed like someone went, "Yeah, that was a cool movie, but Jason could kick Michael Myers' ass," and they go, "No, I couldn't. No, Jason couldn't beat him up. I'll show you." And then they just made him like superhuman, and like again at the end, like the whole idea was like his adrenaline's always high, so like it allows him to live through gunshots and allows him just to be a little bit stronger and like survive through certain things. He has a heightened awareness. That was always the story, right? He's just like pure evil and he's like, just amped constantly.
Okay, you got.
He's not
there.
pure
He's-
evil. This movie
he's-
proved it.
Well-
I think that none of you have been listening to Dr. Loomis like everybody else in every
Yeah.
single fucking movie.
He's
He's
evil.
pure evil. He's pure
He's
evil.
not pure evil. He proved that in this one because he walks past a baby. He looks back and then he makes the decision not to kill a baby.
Yeah,
Therefore, he's not pure evil.
because evil died that night.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that's all they meant. Like
Not
the
physically, but like in his
the
heart.
metaphorical evil. But like your adrenaline gland, you can smoke all the PCP you want. If I snap your leg in 2, it's not going to function. You're going to drag it behind you. You might not feel the pain, but he just gets up while an entire group of 20 people are like shooting him point blank with
crowbars and stuff.
Crowbars, shooting him point blank with a fucking
I mean, the movie,
a
the
revolver,
movie's,
like six times. Like
the movie's a monster movie. It's just like an angry mob and a fucking monster.
I get it.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's not.
It's
It is a
Frankenstein.
monster movie.
But the whole point is that you're purporting this as human. It's not a monster. You're purporting him as human. He's a human being.
I consider Michael Myers a monster at this point.
No, but like that's what I'm saying. So it's just ridiculous that you can't break his bones. Apparently,
No.
you can't harm him in any way. So at this point, why don't you just have bullets bounce off him? What the fuck's the point? The guy shot him 6 times in the chest. Just
I actually
want to.
I want to see him fly. I want to see Michael Myers flying around.
His Halloween kills just come up.
just fucking
actually,
lift off.
His Halloween kills, and that might just be like, dude, he kills it. Like he's just flying around, and he's just like, yeah, like he beats up a bunch of well-armed, muscular firemen, and then just starts wandering around, killing everyone.
He also
in the
knows
town.
how to hotwire cars.
Is that him?
He's got that skill.
I
Meanwhile, in the bar,
can drive. God.
what's his face? Anthony Michael Hall ruins
Hall.
everyone's night. Everyone's having a good time.
When he tells that
karaoke,
fucking
and he goes up
spoken
like,
word shit?
I got a story for you.
Why'd his buddy get up and be like, hey, I'm going to depress all of you. I'm going to tell you. Like, everyone's up there doing, like, magic and shit.
Right.
It was like a talent show.
Right. It was
like so I'm going to bring my buddy up to tell you a spoken word, horrible story of anguish on an anniversary.
Right.
Let's
and
go.
And he's just like, so just to let you know, while you're drinking your drinks, one time, 45 years ago, I saw a guy who killed some people. And what's funny is,
and he, for the record, he's getting off on this because his buddies are there, like they're spilling the champagne when they're drinking, and like they're having a good time.
Right, and they get yelled at, don't they? For
yeah.
too good.
They're like,
Yeah.
"That's not
The
funny."
husband and wife yells at him.
Yeah,
But that's the one thing. Like, okay, you brought back the nurse who got her car stolen. So like, what? They link up on Facebook. Like, is there a group like people who saw Michael Myers once?
No. This is what's it called? Haddonfield.
Yeah,
that's the kind of town that you don't move out of.
Oh,
I'm
hey,
gonna give
dude,
them that.
the nurse, he was up hours away. That's the nurse that drove Dr. Loomis to the
Insane
mental
asylum.
facility
Yeah.
hours away.
So she was like
the
not
old
even
lady
in Haddonfield.
there. She was the nurse whose car he steals at the beginning of the original Halloween.
Right.
So she.
None of them live in
How'd
that
they find
town.
her? She didn't live anywhere near there. Loomis didn't live in Haddonfield. So, like, she didn't work there if she lived in Haddonfield. They talked about how, because he took a day to get there.
Yeah, he knew how to drive then, even. Somehow.
But they do mention, like, someone taught, like, how does he know how to drive? It's like someone taught him or something.
He was like 5
he
when
went
he
away
went
at
in
like
the mental.
6.
Yeah, he was
right?
in the
Like,
mental
when he go to
institution
jail?
at 6.
He was
seems
6,
to be-
but he lived there for 18 years or whatever.
And he learned how
Where?
to drive.
At jail?
Yeah, at the mental institute.
Mental
So
institution.
they're gonna teach him how to drive when he's a jail. He's got driver's
Like,
ed
that's
class?
what he said. Like, someone must have been.
That's what I'm
he
just saying,
learned
it's stupid.
somehow.
It's
He
a
learned
nice
somehow.
outreach program, you know.
Who gives a shit? I don't like it.
Michael Myers doesn't speak. It's not like he made a connection with Nurse A.
You can be a mute
and like
still
went
drive.
driving and stuff.
That was part of some of the failed scripts. Is that like he was like very manipulative, and you found out that like he did speak, and when he did speak, he was very like good at being manipulative, and like was like he could put on like that's where the whole idea where the masks come out. Like he could put on a mask where he's very friendly and could get things out of people and like seem very nice and sweet. And how could I possibly have done this? I'm 6 years old,
Right?
And like had everyone fooled. And of course, Dr. Loomis would
Wait,
come
he's a
back
clown,
and go,
right? The
"Evil,
first
evil."
one. He's a clown. At the
He has a
beginning?
clown mask, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
He kills his sister,
yeah.
which I did like that they reused it. I guess this is Halloween, not Halloween Kills, but I do like that they used the original shots of like him killing his sister.
I'd like to
and stuff like that.
I like the extensions of the original movie that they put in at the beginning of this, and they made him look kind of like era specific. They looked stupid when he's trying to shoot him, and he's just like walking like his Michael Myers walk, and the guy can't hit him even though he's like 2 feet away.
Mark, your favorite thing in the world is Dr. Loomis. He's your favorite thing of all time.
Love Dr.
How did
Loomis.
you feel about fake, real Dr. Loomis?
I liked it. I liked that he was
I
brought
was
back.
mesmerized by how good. That's probably the best part of the movie is how good
They did a good job.
did that movie magic.
Because my thing with the Halloween
it is
movies,
makeup mixed with deep fake. By the way,
Yeah.
the whole town beats him up, and then he gets up and kills them one by one.
legitimately, we're in the teens of
whole-
numbers of
yeah.
how many people were outside of that car when that was going on. Like
Baseball
and again,
bats,
as we talked about, there
crowbars,
are weapons.
revolvers.
They had like chains around their
Yeah.
knuckles
They
type kind
weren't.
of shit.
They weren't fucking
Laurie
around.
Strode's daughter, what's that girl's name? It stabs him with a pitchfork, like a literal pitchfork. Like someone went and literally got a pitchfork, and I'm so just sad no one had a torch. Just like, like
should've been
one
at least
old
one.
farmer
Distance.
just
Yeah.
wandered from Haddonfield's last farm. It's just like,
I've had it. Evil dies tonight.
but here's
Evil dies.
he's talking
Look at
about
their
he's thinking
shit.
about a serial killer from the '60s, like that actually killed people.
Right.
That's the thing. Like he killed, and they downplayed it in the first Halloween, like last year's, like 2018. They said, like they even had a scene where one of the kids in high school was like, oh what, some guy like killed 4 people 40 years ago. That's why your grandma's crazy. Who gives a shit?
Right.
Like,
It does make
yeah,
perfect sense.
because
Like, I liked that part
we
of
have
the movie.
we have to worry about
School shootings.
school shootings and like all this other insane shit. I'm not going to be able to buy a house. You know, like. this
No,
guy-
I liked that. I liked that they called that out. And but one of the things that really aggravates me about this movie is Laurie Strode's supposed to be this like hero. Move the fuck out of town.
Yeah.
Like that's all you have to do. All you have to like, because she thinks, because at this point we think that he's after her. Like that's what they're going for, and that's what we always think. Yeah. So it's all about Laurie. All she has to do is move to California, and all she has to do is move out of town, and then pay attention to the internet if an escaped convict comes. The way that she paid attention to the internet when an escaped convict happened, but she was in the goddamn town.
they should have done that and then been like, well, he's looking for Lori, and then had a throwaway line like, someone taught him how to use Google.
They cut to him like
Googling Laurie
getting an
Strode,
address, MapQuest.
prints it all out,
Prints
and
it
doesn't know
out.
how to use a printer, and just prints out like a stack of papers with like every directional turn.
It
He's
jams.
just like,
I just want to see him put on like bifocals over the mask to like look at something.
called Halloween Drive, so he just drives to California. He's just getting gas, like in a mask. What is he gonna do if he runs out of gas? I guess murder more people.
And that's the other thing. Like, why are no cops good at their jobs? Like, effectively, like not one person ever catches just the mistake of like I've jaywalked and got yelled at. Like this guy doesn't ever get in trouble for nothing. You know?
But people like he's wearing a like. If you're driving around with a white mask, they're gonna pull you over, and like if
He's got no peripheral vision.
go put on a mask and try to drive around. You'll get pulled over within an hour. If you drive past a cop, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck? I'm pulling that guy. He's on crack." Like fucking.
It's one thing if it even tried to look like if it was like a
There's no way
Nixon mask, like a human, but
I
it
was
was
gonna say-
white.
And there's no
I
way
don't know.
like Haddonfield doesn't have like a PCP problem.
It
You know what I
isn't-
mean? Like
yeah.
that's one of those towns that has gone downhill since the 70s and has like meth.
Yeah.
yeah, but they're
labs.
also the town that has like 3 cops.
Right. And they all
Like,
probably.
they have
take
like
the cop-
100.
They take the car home and stuff.
They
Right.
have like
And-
100 cops. They had 100 cops arresting him in the 70s.
And at the same time, they
yeah.
probably all do wear masks in their own little way. You know.
Oh, dude, are you Ben Stein in the mask now? We all wear
No,
masks,
I'm
metaphorically
just.
speaking.
No, not at all.
Stein.
I'm saying they're all part of
Ben
KKK.
Stein was in the mask.
But I'm just saying they're KKK. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh.
It
Yeah.
always comes back to racism, and I, like we didn't even get
Doesn't
it.
it,
Dude,
though?
are you taking over as the lead singer of the Spin Doctors?
I don't know. I'm
Was
just
it
thinking
little-
of a bunch of cops driving around in masks.
Keep your hands off of Drew Barrymore's ass, dude. They make a point of like downplaying the importance of Michael Myers in this town. Now in this one, everyone acts like people have been
It's huge.
triple locking their doors because Michael Myers existed 40 years ago, and everyone's storming around like "Evil dies tonight."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's
what-
Even
insane.
the old people at the talent show bar,
Right.
Even they didn't like remember it, or they were like, "Oh," drinking their Budweisers. Like
Right.
they were all like
Oh, yeah, that guy.
reminded by Anthony Michael Hall of what took place, minus our 4 old timey.
Remember that guy who went live on Facebook in Cleveland and killed 3
Yeah.
people like 4 years ago? What was his name?
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do
It
remember
was
that.
not 4 years ago. That was like a decade ago.
No,
No,
it was
no,
like 4 years
it was,
ago. What was
it
his
was
name?
about 5.
It was
4
well
years
before
ago.
the pandemic.
No,
Well,
the
yeah.
pandemic was 2 years ago. It's 2022. That started in 2020. It was a couple
yeah,
years
and
before that.
yeah,
What was
I
his name?
lived-
Well, the guy on Facebook went and shot 4 people live on Facebook a couple years
Right.
ago, and you don't.
He
remember
shot
his
like
name.
one
It was like
person
on
the street.
It was like on
Yeah.
Father's Day or something. It was like Mother's
was,
Day or
it
Father's
was,
Day.
yeah.
Yeah, it's one
I
of those
finally got
warning-
my cake. Where's my cake? I would
I'm
have
so
appreciated
happy
that
you got to bring it back again.
if he was doing a reference. He was just shooting people on Facebook for
Yeah, the
Creep
dude's
Show.
just a really big Ed Harris fan.
He's
so
just like,
stupid.
where's my cake? Doing the dance and shooting people.
I'm like, all right, well, you should.
Where's my cake, Bedelia? He was like an
Okay.
incel guy, right? Was that his
Yeah.
deal?
I don't know who would. I think he was just some random.
I'm just
crazy
saying,
dude.
like, I've lived in Cleveland my whole life. I don't know every person who's killed more than 3 people's name. I remember Anthony so well. I remember Castro.
Well, he is kind of bland in it. Like it's more about they focus more on the crowd, more on the people, like everything else around it. Even the people who like redo, like flip his house or whatever, like those guys. Like it's just about like everything around Michael
Well,
Myers
I do
and the
like-
idea of him than him being an actual character in the
When he
movie.
kills that old couple, like where he's like stabs the lady with the fluorescent, that's a great
Yeah.
kill. And he's like testing out the knives on
Yes.
the dude.
Yeah.
And he's just like, which one do I like best? Ooh, I like this one. And like then leaves, and she's just like dying and having to watch this horrible crap.
That was awesome.
And it's yes,
that was
and
great.
that was a great kill.
Yeah.
And that's part of the movie's charm, I guess. Is but they turned it in again to the original Halloween had shots that were like in broad daylight. They were terrifying. It took away the protection of the sun. When she looks out her window and she sees him just standing down by that laundry. Do you know what I mean? Or like just sees him standing in front of like so many of those shots
he's
take
by the
place in
bushes.
broad daylight, and
Right.
it takes away that like the original Halloween just took away that like protection of the daylight.
Yeah.
He's standing in the backyard. That's a terrifying scene. He's standing in that bush and then he goes behind it and she has to walk up to it. It's just broad daylight. She's walking to school. That's terrifying. This has turned into Friday the 13th where you're just like, that's a good kill. That's a good kill. But at the same time, Michael Myers has always been treated better than his counterparts, I think. But at this point, I think he's taken far too seriously. Does that make sense? Like now he's like Freddy became literally a joke until New Nightmare. Like by Freddy's Dead, he's literally Freddy's Dead is a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon.
Freddy's the comic relief of himself. You know, like so he's always make the joke. Not that he's a joke, but he's always made.
No,
jokes.
I'm saying in Freddy's Dead, he hits a kid with a bus and he gets blown out of Springwood, and it's like literally like the beginning of Freddy's Dead is a cartoon. Like it's and he's
They
like
do the
flying
video game
around.
thing at one point.
Yeah, like
it is. No,
that's
you're
what I'm saying.
You're right.
It's a cartoon, and it's not Freddy just making dumb puns. He's a joke now, and this is
We've
a
discussed
joke.
this. We've discussed this in our 3D episodes, but the 3D episode or 3D movie is 5. Is it far past the time era that they should have been 3Ding, or is it
6.
more of the cartoon era?
6.
6 is the 3D one?
Or it's Freddy's Dead is Nightmare on Elm Street 6, and that's the one at the end that has the 3D.
Yeah. So I'm just saying it's past the time of 3D, so it's even more cartoony is what I'm trying to...
Yeah, I think that was way past 3D. I don't remember them ever trying to do Jurassic Park in 3D. Nothing. 3D kind of like had a boom in like 2005. If you wanted to go to the movie theater and puke.
No,
you
I'm
could
just
go-
saying like past it, like the way that they had like Friday the 13th 3D.
Friday the
Like,
13th
this
3D was in
5D. It makes
1982.
no sense.
Right.
That's what I'm asking. Like
Yeah,
past that,
6.
that
It was
resurgence
just
of
a
Jaws
gimmick.
3D. You know,
It was a dumb gimmick. That was it.
you laughing at Jaws 3D?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater when I was a kid. It was amazing.
Yeah, it comes at the screen at the
Yeah,
beginning
yeah,
or at
it's
the
ridiculous.
end.
I mean, I was like 8 or something.
It was great. The,
Yeah,
the
you were
Jaws-
8.
the
Jaws
Ju-
3D
the
came out
Jaws
in
comes out.
1967, so you're around 80 years old. But like, Michael
Jaws
Myers
3
was
came
always
out
treated
in
more
the 80s.
seriously. He never went to Joketown, but now he's like,
Invincible.
Well, he's being taken. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like laughable how self-revering these movies are becoming. Like I said, they feel like fan fiction more than anything else.
They're giving him a soul. You're 100% on that. Like, because the whole idea at the end when he kills the mom in his old bedroom, looking out the window.
Yeah.
So like they're trying to tell us like he's not looking out the window. He's looking at himself because it's a mirror glare, right?
Right.
Like, so they're trying to give this like soul to this kid to figure out what all went wrong with him.
He's pure evil. We already know that. And then the evil didn't die. And
Do they say pure evil in this one?
No, they say evil dies.
Is that just the first one? No, but is Loomis saying pure evil in any of these new Halloweens? Or is that just Halloween?
Loomis isn't in any of these new Halloweens.
At any time Loomis is in a movie, he
is.
says pure evil.
Well,
but
for one
he's
second.
at the very beginning. I don't think he says pure evil.
I have no interest in the next movie in this series.
I feel like he kind of.
What is it? Ends? Is that what you called it?
Yeah.
Is that what
Halloween
title
Ends.
is?
That's what they called it.
Yeah.
I just
It's not going
repeated
to.
it.
It's not going.
I don't think
to.
I knew that.
And if it makes enough money, it's not Halloween Ends.
If it makes enough, yeah.
Does Danny McBride though? You called that out earlier. I find it interesting that he's made these movies just because I think of him as a comedy guy. Do I just not know any better? Is he a writer?
No, he's just a big fan.
He's
He's like a fanboy, and that's why this movie is fan fiction. Is like
So he's a fanboy with a name, and they let him make these movies.
him and his buddies. Yeah, he's not the main. Is him the director's his friend David something Green? David Michael Green or
Alan
something.
Austin, Alan.
David Allen Greer from In Living
that's how you
Color that
pronounce
had
it.
Jim Carrey. What's that?
But yeah, as far as this movie goes, I would have to.
Mark's like, we're not talking about it.
Like, as far as
Fuck
this
you.
movie goes, yeah, fuck that shit.
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
happily see the third one. Oh,
Yeah, you're gonna watch
Happily?
the third one.
happily, yeah. I mean,
Happily do it.
if it's the same thing as this one where it just comes straight to TV, like I didn't go to the theater.
No, we
it meant
watched-
nothing
yeah.
for me to watch this movie. I already
Right.
had Paramount or Peacock, whatever the fuck.
That was
it's
on
on.
HBO.
HBO.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. I think it was.
No, it's on
something different.
Peacock. I had to
Yeah, I
get
feel like I
Peacock,
got
and then
it.
I forgot
Yeah, I
to
feel like I got
cancel it.
something.
I
I
forgot
got
to
the
cancel
7-day,
Peacock
yeah.
for like fucking 4 months. So this movie cost me $9,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
I
were happy to
canceled
get to watch the
instantly.
Saved by
I'm
the
like, I'm
Bell
watching this
remake.
movie and I'm canceling right now. And that's what I did.
Yeah,
But,
I hated.
I think Peacock's a good one. Actually.
I don't recommend this movie. I'm not watching the next one.
I'm gonna watch it.
You say you're not gonna watch it?
You're gonna watch it. We're gonna
We're not.
review
You
it.
wouldn't want to review it if we're
Nope.
still.
I'll read it on Wikipedia, and I'll review the Wikipedia page.
All right. Well,
Do you like the first one, or do you think they're both equally?
I like the
garbage?
first one. That was an interesting, fun little take, and you could have just left it there too. It's
100%.
okay.
Yeah.
But this coming out, this is a Slipknot video, and just nonsense of people
were-
screaming around. My favorite is when the guy jumps out the window who they think is Michael Myers, and like the crazy
Oh, the crazy
guy.
home. Or yeah.
And then the cop
That was
goes,
kind of sad, I guess.
they're making
sad.
us, he's turning us into the monsters. Like, wow, thanks for explaining what's going on. I couldn't get it first.
But
Thanks for treating me like an idiot because I didn't understand what was going on. I was just like, oh, that wasn't Michael Myers? Oh, you guys are turning
Evil
into
did not
monsters?
die tonight.
No.
But isn't there a point in a Halloween movie where they like slam into a dude because he's wearing a mask and they shoot him and then it ends up not being Michael
No,
Myers?
so in 2, Donald Pleasant kills a kid
yes,
who's dressed like Michael Myers for no
Yes.
reason.
Yes, yeah.
How's he dressed like Michael Myers?
And then
He's
he's
a
It's
trick-or-treating.
whatever.
He's just trick or treating. Yeah.
And he has that same mask on because Michael Myers just stole the mask. It's not like his mask. At the first one, he just steals a mask and wears it. So that's apparently just a painted William Shatner mask
Yeah.
that's sold.
I don't think it's supposed to be painted. It's just inside
It's
out.
Inside Out.
Well, they painted it
Inside
because the
Out.
hair's on the outside. So why the fuck would it be inside out, you
I don't
idiots?
know. Well, that's
No, I
the-
think
the
Inside Out is a
thing
big
it's
thing,
supposed
but
to be
that's a
inside out.
solid point, Ben.
Yeah.
No argument on that
They
point that you
painted
just
it
made.
white, morons.
I think it's an Inside Out thing. I'm still
they
voting that.
painted it,
Nope.
and the hair's on the outside. Anthony Michael Hall is the most bizarre cast for this. He just seemed like he was griping about his career when he was up on that stage. Like, let me tell you something about 40 years ago. Skinny little piece of shit stars in the Breakfast Club. All his buddies getting laid around him, and nobody wants to fuck old Anthony Michael Hall. No career, 90s. USA comes calling. Oh yeah, Dead Zone, TV show, fine. I can wear a robe and wander around with a cane for 7 seasons for some bizarre reason.
Wait, Stephen King Dead Zone? He did a show.
He did it. There was a TV show for like years where he was. I've never seen it, but I don't know how you drag that show on for 7 years.
You don't think you can drag a Stephen King story?
I mean, you can. He drags his books on for years, so.
I just bought It audiobook, and it is 44 hours long. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Do not listen to that book, please.
Yeah.
I haven't yet.
That is Steven Weber.
Yes, I actually thought
Wings.
you'd appreciate that. Yeah.
He is horrible. It's unlistenable.
He got a lot of 5 stars. People talk really high about his voices.
Oh, cool. Do you know how many albums Nickelback has sold?
You're in love with Steve Weber, and you're telling me it's bad?
His name is Steven.
Again, you're in love with him.
And don't do it. Oh, dude,
No, this is going to be my first...
When he does Bill's stuttering, he's like...
Dude, I was really excited for it.
Yeah, don't be.
I'm trying to finish my Andre Agassi book so I could start this one.
What?
I'm not interested in the next movie. I mean, I probably will watch it to see how bad it gets because he probably will be flying.
I hope so.
What's weird is I can't tell, like, are you still trying to go with the Laurie Strode showdown?
I think they are.
Did you try to change your meaning from the last movie? Because he doesn't give a shit about her. And the only reason they meet up in that movie is because that doctor forces it. Because he wanted to see his reaction to Laurie Strode, in which he doesn't give a shit. Mm-hmm. He just goes and kills people.
I don't know.
I don't
do you
care.
Think they're going to kill her off at the beginning, like she doesn't matter.
No. I think at the end she's going to hug him and jump off a cliff, and then it's going to be vague, like mutual assured destruction.
They both need to die tonight.
It's going to be Halloween 2024, and Michael Myers is going to be in a flying DeLorean.
I want to see him in space with Jason.
It's too late.
No, they won't do that. They won't have John Carpenter tried to win the rights, and he said he wanted to put Michael Myers in space, and that didn't work. Harvey Weinstein backed John Carpenter, and they had a bidding war. And God damn it, why can't I fucking think of the goddamn the producer's name on Halloween that retained the rights to Halloween? Mustafa Akkad, that's his name. Mustafa Akkad died in a suicide bombing. They went back to visit.
His brother killed him.
No, the producer of Halloween movies went back with his daughter, I think to Palestine, and they were just there on vacation, and he was killed in a suicide bombing.
Damn.
Oh,
just
wow.
like one day, just like randomly one day, and
awful.
That's what happened. And then his son took over, and that's how the Rob Zombie movies happened, because his son is a piece of shit.
His daughter passed too? Or just him?
No, she was blown free of the millions of pounds of dynamite, and she landed, and then she
Millions of
karate chopped.
pounds of dynamite?
Yeah, this guy just walked up. He looked like RoboCop. He was the
I was going to say, that's John McClane terrorist as shit.
No, she was killed too, if I recall correctly.
That's an awful story.
It is an awful story, but
unless you're Mark, because then you're happy.
You know what?
I love it.
The worst story is Halloween Kills. That's the worst story. That's a terrible story.
It's pretty bad.
You know what the problem
Hunting
is
the
that
story.
the fact that they refuse to do anything different, that there's no creativity here, and it's just the same damn movie over and over. He escapes from the hospital and he kills people, and now they're just doing a different Halloween 2.
One is different because the mob is fighting back, and usually have people running from Michael. So this one, people are
Laurie
fighting
Strode
back.
fights him. Everybody fights him in all
This
the
is
other
the
movies.
whole town. The whole town.
The town is
against-
the town does now know that this one man exists,
Right.
which
And
again makes no sense that it's 3 years later.
Crazy. It's crazy.
It's not 3 years later.
And I'm saying now in the future, like the Ends movie, if it's again like there's no way he got away.
Right, they're going to put him in.
Shotguns.
He's just going to leave, and he's going to kill people, and then Laurie Strode's probably going to tackle him off like a thing. even though the guy lifts people off their fucking feet and crushes their heads, some 70-year-old lady's gonna overpower them and wrestle them down a cliff, and then it'll be left open to interpretation of what happens with them, because if it does well enough, they can bring him back.
They should have Michael Myers end
It
the
will
whole
do
series with
well.
him driving off the end of a cliff like Thelma and Louise.
That's why I said
With Laurie Strode.
Laurie and Michael Myers, because he can drive. He knows how to drive.
You know, so true.
Steal a car, get in it, and just fucking go off a cliff.
Hold hands at the end.
Yeah.
I hope
and
it's
the-
literally
and-
2
and
hours of the
first
two.
Brad
Like, I
Pitt.
hope it's hardcore fucking. Just like two old people just having sex.
Wait,
for 2
wait,
hours.
Michael and Laurie?
Yeah.
Like they fall in love.
No, just start.
They might as
Don't
well.
explain it.
Oh,
They're
it's just
fucking, like,
orgasm
three,
stuff.
3 years later, just like.
It's 3 years later and they're just straight fucking.
For 2 hours? Just.
There's like a random like Gatorade break and then they cut back to
They show
That's
Michael
even
Myers
there.
without his mask. He takes his mask off. He's just like. Just like cross-eyed.
it cuts to like a scene of Michael Myers peeing in the toilet, but his pee stream goes to the side.
And then it's Donald
I will
Pleasance
watch
going.
that.
It's Donald Pleasance going, someone taught him how to fuck. I'd watch that.
Dr. Loomis,
I'd
I
watch
did.
that for 100 years.
Over and over.
Like they show a
watch it for
completely
100
different movie
years.
and then just put that into the theater. Like they sneak that. Like they have a whole movie shot and then it's just like hardcore, like horrible elderly porn.
I just want to see all the cutaways of them like recuperating. Just, Laurie standing outside the motel smoking.
With an ice on her.
You just see Michael like with his arms on the sink, just staring at himself in the mirror.
I hated
I'm
it.
sorry.
It's stupid.
It was dumb. It was really dumb.
was
So I'm gonna
dumb
watch
and
the
it was
third
stupid.
one because you kind of have to now. But it's,
I don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
I'm
you-
definitely
What
gonna watch
does
the
that
third
mean?
one. The first one was good. I liked Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween Kills was let down because I really liked the first one. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Same here.
It was a letdown and it was stupid, and this is even get more stupid because it's like
It's gonna
two
get-
elderly
I don't even
people
know how you
fighting,
do
and
this.
who wants to watch that?
What's
know
wait?
if I
All
can
we
do
have
this.
left are the granddaughter and the grandma,
Right.
It's gonna get stupider,
and not Greg Kinnear. That's it.
more stupider. All right, Halloween sucks.
Halloween sucks tonight.